Lloyd, I wanted to introduce you, Lloyd Marcus, to the people on the Planetary Healing Club, which we've started recently in January. And one of the things that I think that you were talking about for the regular show that was so important is that it's not just racism, it's dividing people into groups and labels that is just completely unnecessary and counterproductive. And I wanted you to say a couple of things to people about the attitudes that you think they should maintain and increase in their lives.
Thank you, Richard, for this opportunity. I think the main thing I want to say is to look at people as individuals and not through this invisible wall of race or politics or whatever. Back in 1969, I got drafted into the United States Army. And the main thing I learned is that good people and jerks come in all colors. Like, just because somebody is your skin color or race does not mean that person is your friend. I know that seems kind of silly and obvious, but people hate a group of people. You know, they hate whites or they hate blacks. You know, I tend to look at people as individual, and like I said, when I look at Richard, I judge Richard for who Richard is, not as Richard representing a whole race.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, for me, I'm pretty much the opposite of racist. I don't even care if somebody's human. If they showed up from another planet and they were green and pink, I mean, why would that matter?
Right.
They still come from the same source as we do.
Yeah, but we have that all the time, and I think I told you that I have been criticized in my family my whole life for having too many white friends. How absurd is that? But apparently there is something suspect behind that. But I see people as who they are.
Yeah, incredible. I think that message contains the whole thing. If people could just do that, I think we'd start seeing conflict disappear.
Right. And I hate to say it, but the whole Democrat Party and the fake news media persists in dividing people down racial lines. I told you about how that I have been to over 500 Tea Party rallies. Well,
yes.
the Congressional Black Caucus, or one of their representatives, Andre Carson, said that the Tea Party wants to see black people hanging from trees. How exactly. Outrageous and how absurd is that? The shameful part is that was purposely done to make black folks hate the Tea Party, to cause racial division. That was a purposeful lie perpetrated by the Congressional Black Caucus. They don't want the races to get along. As a matter of fact, for the most part, the races do get along. We work together. We play together. Like, all of the racial division in this country is coming from the media.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's a coordinated attack that way. But if people start waking up, then the media stuff will just bounce off.
I know, but then I see people in my family, and they work with white people and they have white friends, but yeah, a lot of them think America is thoroughly racist, and that a white Americans are burning the midnight oil, trying to figure out ways how to keep black people down. And I say, look, uh, blacks are only 13% of the population, and we elected a black guy for 2 terms.
Right,
So
right.
millions of, so uh, millions of white people voted for him, and yet a large number of my family insanely believes that white America hates the fact that we had a black president. Now, where does that nonsense come from? It comes from the media and it comes from the Democrat Party, and that's totally stupid. It's
Mm.
totally illogical, but they believe it.
Yeah, so the only thing you can do in that kind of a case is just keep being an example of what you know is right.
Yes, yeah, yeah. That reminds me of my dad. My dad is like that, and he is highly respected by all of the members of our family because all of the family knows that my dad stands for what is right and true,
Mm.
and so I hope to walk uh, in his footsteps.
Yeah, I completely agree. Okay, well, we'll all do our best and let's see what happens. So I hope you stay in touch with us as you start your travels across the country.
Thank you so much again, Richard.
Okay.